Okay, so I know I said I would make a video ranting about Pokemon, and I am, but before this I just kind of talked into my mic and I realized how bad my speech is, so sorry about that.
Okay. Show you what. Do you want out?
I'm actually typing a script and I intend to read it word for word, even this part, just to avoid my awful stuttering and bad pronunciation. Because I do this thing where I'll be talking, and while I'm talking I'll be thinking about the next thing I want to say, and then in the back of my mind I'll have this whole other thing I'm thinking about and then I'll forget what I'm saying. So basically I'll have like 3 things going on in my mind at once, which induces a lot of stuttering and awkward pauses. Who knows, maybe I'll just throw this whole thing to a text-to-speech thing and then that'll be my voiceover. So this is basically like an essay type thing. I don't know how much I'll research this or what I'm gonna do after I finish this huge project that nobody asked for, but I have a lot of thoughts and opinions about this game and I want to talk about them. So I don't hate Sword and Shield. I want to make that clear. I, like many people, have very fond memories of this franchise. Whether it was playing the games or watching the show, this series has a very special place in my heart. I know I am a very cynical person, so please remember that this is very opinionated. If you like these games or don't really care, then that's swell and I will shut up. But please hear me out for a couple of minutes. So the EXP share has been a problem since Generation 6. I don't know all the inner workings of it, but I know that the EXP that's shared is not equal. It's actually gotten bigger. The EXP is also shared to everyone in the party, and that would be fine if it was a small amount, but in Sword and Shield at least, it seems that everyone gets the same amount of EXP equal to the Pokemon who beat the opponent. So party members will get over-leveled really fast and NPC players will seem like weaklings. The reason why nobody remembers Diantha is because by the time you got to her she was already 10 levels behind. In Sword and Shield it's a little better. I think the levels of the gym leaders at least were made to match the EXP share's fast leveling. But for the most part this game is stupidly easy. And before you say oh it's a kid's game, I don't think that's a valid reason to make your game super easy. The reason why Cynthia is so memorable is because her team is higher level than yours, well built, and it takes planning and grinding before you take her on. Like her team in Diamond and Pearl is in the early 60s and her Garchomp is level 66. Most of the Elite Four members would be in the mid-50s. Take out things like Mega Evolution, Dynamaxing, and Z moves, and it's a real challenge to beat her. In Sword and Shield I don't think you could have a real challenge without actively seeking it out. But you can't really do that anyway because there's no option to even turn off the EXP share. I mean, there's a reason why Nuzlocke became so popular. The self-imposed rules made so many moments stand out to us. If a Pokemon faints you won't be able to use them anymore. So you have to be more careful and take more time before important battles. You are limited to the first Pokemon you encounter when you enter a new area. It makes you bring out the full potential of each Pokemon and not just cherry-pick which members you want to use. For a region whose whole culture is based around battling, Galar is probably the easiest Pokemon game in the series. There's a simple solution to this problem, and they already did it in Black and White. Just add a difficulty option after you beat it on normal the first time. This gives the option for a harder game for those who want it. The next thing I want to talk about is the map of this region. Basically it's trash. It's literally just a line with a few loops sticking out of it. Galar is so simple that it can literally be broken down into sections. This part is the easy baby part, this part is the middle part, and this part is the final one with the league and stuff. I remember as a kid, As soon as I got the town map, I would open it up and be excited to explore the whole region. Because, look, there's a mountain. And some cool ancient ruins and towns I don't know about. After Wedgehurst, there's not a single town in this game that isn't dedicated to a gym or the story. Towns are only separated by 1 or 2 routes, which are also really small. It really hurts the world building and makes Galar ironically small. It's ironic because there's the wild area, which is really big, and there's Dynamaxing, plus it's on the Switch, so in theory it should be really big and open and stuff, but it's like not. Haha. Salacion Town has no real purpose. It has a daycare and some ruins, but no real story connection. It's just a town to be a town, to make the world of Sinnoh feel a little more plausible. Other than battling and catching and training Pokémon, the other main selling point of this franchise is exploring the world of it all. Like, I shouldn't be able to look at a map and point out which section will be the middle part of the game. And if I really think about it, they do separate you by how many gym badges you collect, so it quite literally breaks it into pieces. In the older games you would backtrack a lot, and yeah, that was annoying, but it felt like a real journey with your Pokémon pals and a real adventure and stuff. What even is Galar if not a straight line? Story and characters. Oh boy. I know that story isn't what people usually take away from a Pokémon game, but sometimes a game's story can be so bad it takes away enjoyment from the overall experience. I don't remember why Rose, the main antagonist, did what he did, because it doesn't even make any real sense. So basically Rose finds out through some source that the world is gonna run out of energy in 1,000 years, and he's gonna stop it by recreating the worst event in history, the Darkest Day. With a name like that, it's bound not to destroy the world or something, right? Okay, so a lot of red flags here. First of all, why even do something for a calamity that's 1,000 years away? It'd be better to formulate a long-term plan to cut back on energy usage, not create a fucking apocalypse. And second, when the whole thing is said and done, nobody even really reacts to the fact that the whole Pokémon League is corrupt. They just kind of go back to being happy-go-lucky. So yeah, I think the story is low-key trash, but the characters are probably more annoying to me. So first there's Leon, the Galar champion. I fucking hate Leon. He constantly goes on and on about being the strongest and the undefeated champion, and like, I can't take him seriously because everyone knows how stupid easy these games are. He also acts as the teacher and guide through the game. I think it was supposed to feel like a mentorship, but in reality he's just babying you through the game. He also has a tendency to do the important story stuff before the player. Like when wild Pokémon are going apeshit and everyone is panicking, Leon is the one to scope it out before you do. He basically plays the whole game for you. Also, who the fuck grows a beard and decides to shave it directly down the middle? I mean, yes, sideburns exist, but what is this little motif thing? Who is this man and why is he wearing short shorts and tights? Lance was wearing capes before it was cool, douchebag. Hop is yet another iteration of the friendly rival. That's not really bad. I've pretty much accepted that this is the standard rivals are set to now. I would say that Hop has at least an attempt at a character arc. I mean, it's not a very good one, but at least it's there, and that's already more than our last rival. The only part I liked about him is that he decides to become a Pokémon professor in order to find a path different from his brothers. That's really neat, something that no other game has done. I just wish the game would make a point to say it's good to be unique, and eventually, you have to stop looking to others, and find strength on your own. His obsession with his brother is never really addressed. When you beat Leon, Hop doesn't really have a reaction. He just says how he always knew how amazing you are and, la la, friendship. It's like the game is afraid to show an emotion other than happiness towards the player. There are two kinds of Hop fans. One that thinks Hop is an amazing character and is written really well, and one that thinks he's really annoying and repetitive. I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I like that the game acknowledges how many times you beat him and that his losses to you mean something. But I also hate how there's this constant need to be friendly towards the player. Like, Hop will say how strong he is and how he'll be the next champion, but he also says how much of a good friend the player is. I don't know, it